This is Mixi from Stitched Up Heart. You're watching Heavy New York.
Heavy New York!
What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are back at the Gramercy Theater, and we got Mixi of Stitched Up Heart. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's so awesome to have you here. Your newest record is Darkness, which is scheduled to come out in 2020. You released a couple of singles, though, such as Crooked Halo, your collaboration with Sully Erna, Problems, and those. Can these maybe serve as like a clear preview or representation of what the whole Darkness album is going to sound like?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we really like threw paint on this record. We wrote 70 songs.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm a big advocate of evolving and like trying new things and not sticking to the same thing over and over again. Like I didn't want to write the same record. So it took us a while to finally find the lane. Like we threw paint like way over here and then way over here. And there's not any song that really sounds like another song on the album. So it's a lot of like, there's something for everyone. But yeah, it's a very good, I guess, taste of what the album will sound like.
Awesome. So, you have 70 songs. You ever worried that the songs you're going to leave out are going to be a B-side and just be the biggest hit you guys ever had?
Hey, I just write the music, and if we have like a collaborative effort on who likes, like we all have to agree on it. You know, everybody has to like the song. And if everybody does, the whole entire team, then we go forward with that song. It actually ended up being like the very end of the writing sessions that we ended up using like all of those songs. So pretty much like when we first started writing again, I forgot how to write words. And like, you know, the more you do something, the better you get at it. And the more I realized what I wanted to say, because I had a totally different idea of what I wanted to say at the beginning of the writing of the record. I was like, oh, I'm going to be like strength and girl power. And we're going to be like, yeah, you could do it. And then I was like, but I don't always feel that way. And I didn't want to be fake feeling. I wanted it to be really authentic. And I do have like, how do you get to that strength part? You have to go through the really dark and rough stuff to come out alive and feel strong afterwards. So that I think is a little more authentic, and that's where it sounded. If you like, I could write the words, but when I'd listen back to it, what sounded the most authentic and real for me and that could connect with people as much as possible was the stuff we don't talk about a lot. So
Yeah. So conceptually, this isn't just like a direct follow-up to Never Alone. You think that this is like a new start for Stitched Up Heart in a way?
I think that like I don't want any album to sound just like the last album. I really want to evolve every single time we write a record. Yeah, it's not like this is our sound, this is the way it's going to be or anything, but we're never going to lose our identity completely. We're always going to have like the trademark Stitched Apart sound. A big thing that we did with this record was we used my voice. We were like, what is it that's different from the other bands? Like you can only play guitar so many times and have so many tones, and like, yeah, there's a million things you can do with the computer. So we were like, well, what if we used my voice and created that as its own like instrument, like a synth kind of thing in the background of most of the music. So you'll hear my voice actually chopped up throughout the songs, and it kind of created its own thing. Like I'm a warrior, like that robot voice thing that he did with my actual voice saying I'm a warrior. It came out kind of interesting and kind of more like Transformer, like, you know, like a Terminator kind of thing. So I don't know. It was just kind of fun to mess around with it like that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've always thought that your music has evolved. Like, I remember when I first heard Is This the Way You Get to Hell back in 2010, which I heard you're never playing again, which...
Not necessarily. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. But, you know, you compare a song like that to a song like Finally Free, and then you compare that to, like, your collaboration with Sully Erna. Yeah, it almost feels like you've never been afraid to try new things and stitch it up hard.
Yeah. I mean, my name's Mixi for a reason. I like to mix it up.
There you go. There you go. Now, one thing I was always curious about as a vocalist, do you need to hear music to come up with lyrics, or do you sometimes have a concept in mind, and maybe that could help determine the outcome of the music in a way?
Majority of the time, and it changes, it varies for every writing session, but majority of the time I have like an idea that'll start like a thing. Like I'll have a word that I really want to run with, like warrior, or but with the music that comes the melodies. And so I feel the music usually comes first after that concept of what I want to write about, and then it just kind of flows from there. And if it comes out really naturally, then I know it's right. You know, then if it just like spills out of me, which most of the songs that we wrote for this record just kind of just, I don't know where it came from. I literally, like, actually before every writing session, I don't know if you believe in any of this, but I like prayed or asked the universe if there was like, what can I say to reach people in the deepest way I possibly can? Like, I just want the right words to really, really connect with people. And before every writing session, when I started doing it, like towards the end, that's when everything just flowed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like the bridge into the chorus for Catch Me When I Fall has like that greatest strength that can like really lead you into everything else. So I feel like your lyrics and the melody like really support each other. Like I can't picture like with a song like Finally Free, I can't picture another word like really taking its place, even if it fits. You know what I mean?
We like to sing I Can Finally Pee.
Well, that
might take its place.
All right. I mean, you're on tour with Steel Panther,
Yeah.
so if there's any appropriate time to do it, it's now or never.
I think by the end of this tour, we're all just going to be saying, I already say stupid stuff as it is, clearly. But I think we're just all going to be like crazy people at the end of this.
There you go. You mentioned for the making of Darkness, there was like 70 songs, so clearly there was like a lot of creative vibes. Do you need to put yourself in like a certain situation or a certain element in order to get inspired to write, or does inspiration sometimes just come out of nowhere?
The way I see it is you just go and do it. Like you just put the words down, and whether it's good or not is just all, I guess, perception. But like, I'm never not inspired, I guess. Like there's always something I could write about, but I'm usually more inspired when I'm in writing mode. Like I know, okay, we're ready. We're starting the next record. So I get super, like I dive right in. That's where 70 songs came from.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just very, very proactive and like, okay, I got these producers. I'm going to go run over there and see if we can write some songs, and then like just keep going, you know, and then I just come up with some idea. Like there's no, but like when we're on the road, it's kind of hard for me to write because I'm so focused on the live show and each day and all the other stuff that we have to do. But I didn't, when we're in writing mode, I'm 100%.
Yeah. And you mentioned the live show, which actually kind of led me into my next question, because this is going to be like my 7th time seeing Stitched Up Heart live tonight. But like
not as many as Lacuna Coil.
17.
17. Okay, so we got 10 more shows that you got to watch.
Okay, there you go.
But I love Lacuna Coil. I noticed that you're wearing this, repping that.
There you go.
Yep, you were at the show that we played with them here at the Gramercy.
Both.
And the Revolver.
Yep.
Was that Revolver? I thought it was at Webster.
Yeah, Revolver Golden God Awards at Webster Hall.
At Webster, yeah.
Yep. That was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Dave Mustaine was standing side stage for that performance, and our radio guy, which at the time, we randomly ran into him in New York City just walking around, like just today. We were like, hadn't seen him in years, and he was standing side stage with Dave Mustaine, and he was watching us, and he said I was good. Dave, you listening? But tag him in this, and you rock. Anyway.
I just always thought that, like, you know, every time I've seen you live, it's always a completely different experience than listening to you on the album. Like, seeing you at Webster Hall, which is, you're the only band I've actually seen play all 3 rooms at Webster Hall. The Grand Ballroom, the Marlin Room, and the studio.
That doesn't exist anymore, I hear.
The Marlin Room, it doesn't exist, but they just reopened, so they have the Grand Ballroom, and they're still renovating the studio.
Oh, okay, so they are going to have music back. I just heard that it wasn't. Yep.
Yeah.
All 3.
So when it comes to the live presence, is there a different energy that you channel into your live show versus when you're in the studio or in the recording booth? Or is there maybe just a usual method behind the madness that applies?
I channel the energy that the people bring to me. So I go in there just like this. It's almost like I'm a different person. Like it's like something else goes on stage. It's not me. Like I'm like awkward and antisocial and like I'm an introvert mostly. But then when it comes into like the stage thing, it's like I just snap into like Ziggy Stardust mode, and I'm just like there, you know. I don't know what it is, but and then if the crowd is like moving, like we played Boston the other day, and it was like seriously just such a good energy from the people. I can feel the response. And then the other day I was like, New York City, y'all been walking too much. You can't even get off your feet and jump. Come on. But I mean, we've had mosh pits you've seen mosh pits for us, and I was like, come on, mosh, you know. But But I realized today after we walked like 13,000 miles that no wonder. And I tried to watch Steel Panther from the front, and it was so packed in here last night. And I think it's sold out again tonight.
Yeah.
But it was so packed I couldn't even move around. So I'm like, okay, I can't get mad at them. But, you know, it's a different energy. When I'm in the studio, it's more of like almost a trying to translate. It's totally different. It's totally different. You're in a box trying to make this sound that you want to make and this like message that you want to create. But when you come out on stage, you're performing it and you're feeling the words that you wrote a year ago. You know, I wrote this album like a year ago, the lyrics. So now we're just about to release it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like the crowd feeds off of you and you feed off of the crowd.
I do.
Yeah.
100%. Definitely.
Yeah. When it comes to like, I just started asking artists this, is music usually, I've noticed it's one of two ways. Is music a way of escaping yourself, or is music like a direct extension of who you are?
I think it's just this, I guess it would be the second one. It's my air that I breathe. Like if I didn't have it, I don't even really know what else I would do. Like maybe I would have a bunch of kittens. I don't know. Like I'd be hoarding animals, but I really don't have a plan B. So like I just can't think of even not doing anything musically. Like that's it, you know, and that's all I want to do. Whether it's, you know, maybe one day I'm like not able to rock on the stage, but I still want to be in the industry somehow and like helping other bands or something like that. But I don't know what the future holds. I just know that I'm gonna get up on that stage as long as I can, and just keep pushing, because I think if you just keep going forward, like when you fail is when you stop.
Yeah.
And no matter what we go through, the ups and downs of the industry, the way it is, there's always this little glass ceiling that we break through, and then the next level, and then the next level. And it's really cool to see. And I don't see anything else in my future, and I'm not like a fortune teller, but I just don't or don't want to see anything else.
Yeah. And going back to that glass ceiling, there's no such thing as the bottom. It's just at the point wherever you decide to stop digging. So
Exactly. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, we were just talking about it today. It was like, you got to keep moving forward, because I mean, unless we were just walking backwards, like there is no going backwards, like unless you just stop doing it, you know? And like, I would be lost without it.
There you go. Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have two more questions for you. I love asking this because it's always the hardest question for everybody to answer. How do you know when a song is done?
I don't.
I get that every time.
My A&R guy does. And I just, I'm not, when it comes down to mixing and mastering and all that, I know the structure, the format that it's going to be, and like when it translate and when you get the chills at the end of the song, when you get chills, that's when I know the song is right. But when it comes to like, after we're done writing it, then the producer goes in, mixes and masters, and all, like mastering guy comes in, and they come and hear all this extra stuff that I don't hear. Our guitar player hears it. I'm just like, I hear the whole thing as a whole. So I'm just like, yeah, mixes sound great. I don't know. Like, I don't hear that stuff. Maybe it's because I have my in-ear monitors up too loud, but but yeah, our guitar player can tell a little more so than I do. I'm just like, I think that's the song.
I mean, it's a great collaborative effort, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the final question I wanted to ask you is because, you know, with all the times, like, all the bands you've toured with, you went from like Sick Puppies to Lacuna Coil to Icon for Hire, playing with Megadeth on the Revolver Golden God Awards, Lacey Sturm, and now you're on this tour with Steel Panther. Like, quite a variety of different types of tours. Have you noticed like a different reaction in the crowd, or maybe is it like a different vibe depending on the types of tours you've been on?
I do think that when we play with other females in the industry, that there is definitely a much stronger translation or like a response. Because I think just like me, I'm a big fan of women in rock music. And so I follow all my girls and I like befriend them and stuff because I really, really enjoy it. And I'm kind of an advocate for other women in this industry, because there's really not that many.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of like a thing happening, it's not that many. But it changes with each tour. I actually was really curious about this tour's response because, you know, Steel Panther's like 80s hair metal, but like so far we've played 2 shows, and Boston threw down. It was, I think, more of a response than we got from the Godsmack dates, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, I was really, like, it was incredible. So we'll see what happens, you know? I just have fun up there and hope that people dig it and do the best I can.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Mixi, for your time today.
Thank you.
Of course, everybody, we are here with Mixi of Stitched Up Heart. Darkness coming out very soon. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.